Leo. I'm Susan. I'm your intuitive. This is your May 2025 Taurus season video for love and money. So we're going to get right into love and then we're going to get into money. We have to address the elephant in the room. I have a cut here. I am fine, and let's just talk about love for you. Mars has entered your sign. So a lot of action, a lot of communication, also maybe a break at some point if you can possibly manage one or allow yourself one. But yeah, there's a lot going on for a while. So I think it's really important that we find those pockets of time. So I'm just expressing that to you. We have the Knight of Cups, Ace of Wands coming right out in this section of your life. This is an opportunity for a big change. Something that may have seemed smaller than it appeared comes riding in because you're open. Even if consciously you're dealing with issues left and right, and this is what's so beautiful about you and about, I think, about fire signs in a fire season, is that yes, constantly you might be dealing with this and that and him and her, but subconsciously there's been this ongoing desire for something new, for a change. And you might have been looking at one point or another, but now it's looking for you. If you're in a relationship, and this is about relationships in general. So and this is especially about the one with yourself. So if you're in a relationship right now, there might be a time where your relationship becomes more lively, more loving, even more romantic at this time, perhaps. There might be another start. Maybe you start creating together in some kind of capacity. But either way, you're finding this new energy. There's this rising of this new energy. And if you are single, you're ready to date. You're ready to be seen, to be out here, to be in, maybe dressed like all nicely. Maybe you have taken action on how you feel about how you look and how you feel about how you present yourself in the world. Either way, there's a lot of attraction towards you. You will be taking action. Action will be coming towards you. Do you have to take every opportunity? No. Just notice if you like the persistence someone gives you or if you like the chase, right? Mars is in Leo. Do you like the chase? Think of lions. Are you just looking for a chase, or are you looking for some play or some fun? How upfront can you be? It's Taurus season. Being upfront is really really great, because you're right. No expectations. You never know. But it's important to be sure about what you're saying and be honest about what you're saying, because that will be also revealed during Venus in Aries. But Aries, passion. There's a lot of passion right now. And Knight of Cups, it's grounding your emotions. This passion, this movement is helping ground your emotions and making you realize that perhaps for a while in relationship, there has been this type of defensiveness or this needing to attack, right? Needing to, and in Mars and Leo, you kind of start to see this in yourself, where in situations where even you're offered this, you realize oh, this has happened before. If you have a moment to reflect, highly recommend. Neptune, lots in your 9th house. Yeah, a lot of thinking. This is a time too, if you're going to rediscover or try something new, even if it's a new thought process and the way you think, and then there's a physical action that you attribute to it. You do something new, you try something new, you learn, maybe you're reading more books, maybe you're actively seeking different groups or religions, or even if it's astrology, right? That's the realm we're in. Maybe you're even seeking wisdom, and maybe you're seeking it within yourself even more, Leo. And you may realize about yourself where you've been easy to be on the offense. It can seem like offense, but it's really this premonition, this premeditated. Sorry, my nose is itchy. Be careful. I'm not superstitious. I'm not. It's a limiting belief. But if those of you who are superstitious, an itchy nose used to mean you're going to get into a fight. So I'm going to tell you right now to be really careful if you are a superstition person, because that's on your own. That's your own shit. But I'm not anymore. But be careful of if you feel like you're being attacked. And if you feel like you're being attacked by me, I'm just reading the cards. I'm reading your cards. That's all I'm doing. That's it. So if you've noticed in relationships that you've always had this protectiveness about you that had you on offense, which was really defense, like just before something would even come up, you're prepared. Or even if you get caught off guard, you still act as though you are prepared, which is interesting because Virgo comes right after you. But there's this intuition between Cancer and Virgo, right? You're Leo. So there's a specific kind of intuition that you have, that the sun has, that the sun sees, that your heart understands. But this is about how each one of us are now coming up into these terms of relationships. Today is the day Venus goes into Aries. It's not the same day it will be out. It'll be out the next day. But Venus is in Aries in your 9th house now. So it's time to address these parts of you. Neptune is in Aries. It's asking you to see your relationships and see where you don't have to be that way anymore. That is an old narrative that's coming up because it is safe to heal it. That's coming up in your brain. That hasn't yet been processed, cats. It hasn't yet been processed in your body. However, for you right now, it's as though it has been processed in your body, like I said before, and now it's up to your conscious brain to readjust, which is so cool about fire signs is sometimes it really does start in the body, and then it's up to your conscious awareness to address something. You notice this when it's starting in your head and you address something differently, and you're like, oh, great, that is how I feel. We're going to move with that. This is me authentically, and now this time, it's something you've almost overworked on, overachieved at, and now it's time to stand on it. Mars and Leo. Now is time to take action, all the fire that's happening right now. And we get this we're still in this kind of Pisceans and Saturn and Pisces, confusion and disillusion. So, if you want to keep thinking about some things, but like deciding in your head and deciding and what I mean by that is creating a strategy, like you're creating a plan, like, by May 24th or around the end of May into June, I kind of want to be sure about what my plan is. So right now I'm just going to take time to myself and then take note in situations in love, especially when you're ready to talk about some things, when you're ready to maybe move on from, maybe you have been dating someone briefly and you're in this more fluid space where you're not ready to commit yet. And now you're realizing, what it is that you would, and what kind of person, what kind of attributes, what kind of person you would like to be in relationship with. And the way it feels and the way it flows and like how you can learn and whatever it is for you. That is becoming more apparent. And if you're in a relationship, this is the perfect time to have these deeper conversations, especially if you need more time to contemplate or alone time. It's also about, communicating that with your partner at this time, or communicating, that you have different needs right now, that you're changing and you have been, but now it's like coming up and out of you. And being able to communicate in this way could be really, really important to your money, which I was just going to say, and we'll get right into that. I'm going to have a sip and also tell you that all my links are below. All my links are below. Second part has been amazing. So the second part, we'll get deeper into the love and money space, how they connect, how they intersect, all of the major arcanas that come up and the body parts. But just so you know, anything you put energy into now has the strength and the integrity to stand the test of time. So if you're getting in your mind and there's this part of you, because Mars will be entering Virgo next, which is your second house for Leo risings, you don't have to strip everything down, right? You can see it and adjust and know that that's okay too. So that even if it's in the bigger picture, you have the idea and you want to move forward with it in your relationship, but then, you know, you want to shift it. It's so important to know. And I'm being reminded of, there's this woman, Jenna Zoe, who does human design, and she talks about that there's always a third option. There's always a third option. Like, we think that it's between these two, but maybe you can pull something unique from that and create something new from the decisions, the renegotiations, the changes that are being made within yourself and within relationship. So, and you know, that's something I find that Leos are really good at when you think of that, because you're super crafty and creative in the day-to-day life. So, and how you approach things a lot of times. So I don't know. Just think about it. All right, so money. Ooh. We're seeing some emotional security with this King of Cups. Whatever has transpired, you're feeling more emotionally secure within yourself, which is great because of the conversations you may need to have. There's that underlying grounded confidence, and it's this difference between like, I know, like, I'm good, I know, and saying like, it's just time to address this, whatever happens from there, but either way, I'm gonna be okay. That's coming from a response rather than a reaction. And in this time of fire, we can feel like it could feel easy to be reactive, but because you're shifting, your reactions are shifting too. And that is a beautiful thing. From Knight of Cups to King of Cups. It's also possible that whoever is entering your life or whoever's in your life right now is able to aid in this emotional security in the masculine way, or you find that within yourself of trusting yourself with making decisions the way that you are now, and noticing that there is this part of you that feels content here. You're finding a way to be in this transition more than ever. There is something that I was also reminded of today, and that's something I actually practice myself, is like finding a way to enjoy something you know you need to do for yourself and you just can't do it and you're just having a hard time. So if you're having a hard time with money, or you're blocked somewhere emotionally, because these things go hand in hand, then the reason why you're being prepared in this King of Cups kind of way is because even though you can feel like some kind of attachment and content with that attachment, being overly attached to anything usually can cause us to lose it. So remembering that, like, if you do end up doing that thing for yourself, it's like, why do I like to work out or walk or whatever I enjoy in terms of movement? Because I love the way I feel. And honestly, right now more than ever, I notice it's like flossing my brain. It's like washing my brain. Like doing certain things, even just going outside for a while, like clears my brain in a way that nothing else can. Hold on 1 second, I think one of my kitties is stuck. Nope. Okay. And even if it's for those, so creating a reason for something is sometimes extremely helpful. For like, okay, you may not love to work out, you may not like to be sore, you may not love to eat super healthy, or it just takes extra energy because you don't know what that looks like for you yet, and you may not want to be extreme. So it's just starting small and remembering that you're okay now, you're safer than you were within yourself. So whatever changes you're making, it's like, oh, it's because I want to feel better. I want to feel even better. I want to feel even more secure. Whatever that reason is for you, that is reason enough to start doing the thing or feeling better no matter where you're at with money, no matter where you are at with your job. It's not always about, and I know you know this, it's not always about the external thing. It's about how you can enjoy and be where you're at. And if you do that to the best of your capacity, new opportunities could arise if that's what you're looking for, either within the place you're in or anywhere you would like to go next, or another version of income, right? You do what you can to exert and control what you can. And I just have this, and I love that the cards are reflecting this. I have this feeling that intuitively something super fulfilling is going to knock on its door soon, even if you can't see that in the long run. Even if you think it's just this hobby or something you're doing right now or something you're trying, it's going to bring fulfillment over time, because the 9 to the 10, of course, we're always hoping for that to come out to show us like, well, we're leaving behind the 9. It's cool here. Like I like it here, but and it's not that you're always looking for progression, because that's also not really, Leo likes to expand. Yeah, that is progression for you, is to expand and learn how to continuously expand your horizons. And this is about control. What you can control is you. So if you don't want to make any drastic changes, and you may have been thinking about this for a while, so is it that drastic, Leo? No. However, that's security. Am I doing this because it's rash or dramatic? We just got out of Aries season, all the rush and the fast-pacedness of it and all the stuff that went down. Now we're in Taurus season. No, we don't have to do that in this season. We can do it our way. Because that's like, whenever I see the signs, whenever we really see the signs grow and we're going through these transitions, when we get into their season, it's like that growth is also, that energy will pull every other sign in their own unique way. And that's the way I have been really seeing this. And for you, it's this grounded and this grounded security in who you are, the fire that you bring. And now I think also you're gaining an opportunity from an outside perspective, maybe even from someone that from a King of Cups or King of Wands type person, could even be a High Priestess type person, that is bringing this very affirming energy to you and saying like, I know you may not be on this frequency or emotionally yet, but you have to see here that the power that you bring, the generosity that you bring, and once you embody that, you'll notice that people hear you louder, hear you clearer. Oh my God, I can't. Okay, we're gonna wait for this for the second part, but and this is for the bottom because I usually do that. There's even more. We're gonna have a fun time in the second part. So people will hear you differently, loud and clearly. Pluto sitting across from Pluto in Aquarius for Leo risings in your 7th, most likely 6th through 8th house, depending on your chart uniquely, is sitting across from you. I have a complex chart, so that's why I voice things that way. In retrograde is going to be on May 4th. It will go retrograde, and it's going to oppose Mars and Leo. It's a transforming period of your power. So it's like, even though it's in retrograde, it's going to show you where you've been, your power is being pulled from you in this very obvious situational way. And the more you pull it back to yourself and realize that that was coming from a protection that no longer serves you, especially if it was a psychic protection, and that in some way, shape, or form you've been exerting a lot of energy because of it, this person shows up in your life as maybe someone who gives you advice about it, notices it, and you're just in the right place to listen for that wall or those vulnerabilities or insecurities, for the wall to break down or the insecurities to be seen. And it could be even through your dreams that this person comes through as well, or maybe it's already happened. But either way, it's providing a roadmap in terms of feeling for fulfillment. The kitty always wants to say hi to Leos and Capricorns. It's so funny. I know, baby. I know. He'll sit right on the cards though. Yeah. So this pairing keeps coming out too. You may also not realize that you're preparing to really know and see the vision and see clearly your life, even though that you're questioning some things, you're going into different philosophies, perhaps like head first at this time, Aries, face first. But it's adding to your life in a way where you feel so ready and capable to make the decisions you need to make. So again, that strategy by the end of May is going to be really, really important to have, or just to start, because then you're going to want to actually add to it and perhaps take some action come Gemini season. Yes, because that's your role. We're in Taurus season, which Leo rising's role in career. Your role is shifting too. For Leo risings, your public image is shifting. Maybe some of you are switching jobs or trying something new, putting yourself out there in a different way along with what you already do. No matter what it is, you are seeing in your life, especially this month, that you want to be present for this change that has been occurring, because you're no longer being that person. In whatever person you were in your friendships and your family only showed you more about where your purpose is lying or the direction towards your purpose. But you're a friend and you don't need to be anything more than a friend. A friend is a lot of things, but they're not always this one person for someone. Right? There's someone, like, meaning, for example, this is not necessarily applying to you, but you can take this what you will. Like, say you're a friend that's always used to helping, fixing, giving, and you realize, like, that's not what makes us friends, though. Like, I may have advice, but that's not what keeps us glued. I don't want friendships that keep us glued for that, because that isn't a friendship. Right? You may realize that you've already started a career in some relationships and now you just have to turn it into monetary value. So, and see it within yourself and go that distance, but it's been protecting you from seeing your power and and realizing the power that you hold. And now you're seeing that in a way that once Cancer season comes, because Jupiter move into Cancer in your 12th house in June, and then Cancer season is your 12th house, just you're clearing the path for fertile ground. So it's just exciting. Yeah. Okay. So we'll get right into the second part. I am looking forward to talking to you more about this plan, the strategy, the love, the way that's showing up in terms of changing how the way you see things in your relationships and your dreams and the way you see life, and how that's expanding your career and tapping you back into your intuition in a way that I don't think you even realized was, like, you knew you had it, but you didn't like realize how powerful and how much you maybe don't utilize it enough, and because you're maybe too busy doing this and that. So, or now you realize maybe it's just in your head, and now you can actually put energy towards this next version of life that you're creating. All right, Leo, all information to work with me is below. Schedule payment options. I don't know if I said that before, but the Patreon link for the second part is below. You also get this first part if you do subscribe. Everything goes to your email, including this part, if you like that for yourself. Yeah, we'll see you there.